Hey there! Today I'll show you how to use Veryfi's workflows to perform certain tasks automatically when it comes to your data extraction. To start off, we're going to open up Workflow Studio and hit Create Workflow. We'll enter a name. I'll call this one Email Forwarding. And now this will take us into the workflow editor. So here we have input triggers, process steps, output actions. For the input trigger, I'm going to have a trigger on an API import. So what this means is whenever a user uploads a document, this workflow will trigger. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to have it convert the data into a CSV. So we can hook these components up like that. I'll click on the Convert to CSV node, give it a file name. I'll just call it export.csv. For document types, I'm going to have this trigger for receipts and invoices. And the columns I want to see, let's take a look at the total, the vendor name, and also we'll go with the line items description and the total. For the document type on the API import, I'll call it receipts and invoices. Let's save. And now these two nodes are all set up. So the next step is that after the CSV gets created, I want to email the file to myself. So I'll make an email file node. I'll connect it like that. And for the recipient email, I'll use my own email. The recipient is me, and no CC recipients. So I'll just hit save. And now you can see we don't have any errors showing up. These nodes are all set up correctly. And we can actually go ahead and turn this on. So now the next time we upload a document, it will be converted to a CSV and then emailed to us. And you can verify your workflow set up correctly by just checking the browser panel here. Okay, I just uploaded a receipt, so we'll wait for this to process. Refresh our inbox. And you can see our receipt shows up here. So we'll click on that and you can see it got extracted. And now I should be receiving an email from the workflow with my exported CSV. So now I'll show you how to use a Google Drive importer. The use case for this is you may have a Google folder with a bunch of different documents, and you want them to all be extracted and have different logic happen depending on the document type. So for the input trigger, I'll have a Google Drive node. I'll call this my workflow folder. And once docs are processed, we'll move them to trash. Next, I'm going to use a document classifier node. So what this does is when a document gets read into it, it determines the type of document it was, and then depending on that, it'll trigger different logic. The two documents in this case will be receipts, and the other one will be checks. If we know it's a check or receipt, we want to extract the data. Document type, make sure it's a check. And for this one, it will be a receipt. So now we have the final stage, which is what to do with the output. This time I'll use an upload to G-Sheets for checks. What this does is it takes the data from the extraction process and uploads it somewhere. I'll just make a new spreadsheet. I'll call this checks sheet. The sheet name, it will be checks. In the case that it's a receipt, I'll have it email the file. And now we should be good to go. You can see we have no more errors, and this workflow is ready to run. So now when a user uploads a file to this Google Drive folder, it gets taken to the document classifier. And if it's a check, we extract the data and upload it to a Google Sheet. If it's a receipt, we again extract the data, but we email it. So the final type of workflow I'll show you is a document aggregator. And what this does is it runs periodically, and whenever it runs, it selects a group of documents based on some criteria, and then runs the workflow on those. I called this one a Walgreens aggregator, because what we're going to do is we're going to get all documents that have been, we're going to get all documents from Walgreens, and then we're going to export them. So here we set the filter, has vendor name Walgreens. For the frequency, we're going to run this daily. So whenever this happens, we're going to convert it to a CSV. We'll call this Walgreens docs.csv. For receipts and invoices, we're going to include total, vendor address, and we'll see what they purchased. We'll do line item descriptions. So after we have that CSV, then I'm just going to email it to myself. And as you can see, the workflow is all ready. There are no errors, so we can go ahead and run it. And this will now run periodically, once a day. So those are the basics of how to use workflows and some of the different use cases you might encounter. We hope you find this tool useful.